Hey everyone, this is going to be kind of a weird vlog and I'm going to try to keep it short, but anyway, yeah, I don't feel like myself right now. The last few days have been extremely stressful. I'm having some more issues with some crap going on at work, human resources screwing up, people in the office screwing up, and long story short, I have found myself consistently having to pay for other people's mistakes. And I've reached a point where I'm absolutely sick of it, and I'm feeling very, very deeply inclined to change jobs. The other motivating factor here is the fact that I have a commercial driver's license, as you would imagine, since I am a school bus driver. Recently, the federal government passed into law a new rule saying that, I could have this wrong, but basically the way it was explained to me is that if you have a commercial driver's license and you're a school bus driver, then when you go for your yearly physical, they're going to have you take a sleep apnea test. And, however, the law does not say that employers have to pay for this test for their employees. And so basically, the expense of having the sleep apnea test done falls on the employees, meaning the person who is employed by an institution that requires you to have a commercial driver's license or whatever to do the job that you're doing. And try and guess, if you will, how much a sleep apnea test costs. Any guesses? If you guessed $3,000, you are correct. I don't have $3,000. I don't have it laying around, I don't have it saved, I don't even have it coming to me anytime soon. And some people at work are really, really pissed off, saying that it's unfair, that, Jefferson County schools should be paying for this for their employees. But the problem with that is, our district is so big. We have almost 1,000 bus drivers, and there's no way in hell they're going to do that. And so, some people were saying, oh, well, maybe they'll let us set up payment plans. And I'm like, that's fucking bogus too. Because I shouldn't have to go into debt in order to keep my job. And if I go and take this test and then I'm making payments, I can't afford another monthly payment for anything, a bill or anything like that. My take-home pay is a fucking joke, as it is already. Because so much money gets taken out of our paychecks to cover our asses for the summer so that we get a paycheck over the summer. And it's not optional either. They make you participate in the escrow. They make you participate in it. So, no. But, it's just absurd. And even if come August, because that's when my Division of Traffic recertification comes due, that's when my physical is supposed to happen. Even if by then, my school district says, oh, we'll pay, or oh, we'll pay half and you pay half, or they work out some kind of deal or something like that, or the law gets changed. Maybe the law will get changed because of enough public outcry. So because the people who made this rule obviously didn't really think past the end of their nose. They're thinking about minute details. And of course, if you ask them and say, well, why did you pass this law? They'll say, well, we have student safety at heart. And I'm thinking, no, you don't. You have a bullshit, boneheaded, pointless agenda at heart. They're not realizing that for school districts or for employers who are going to pay for their employees to have this test, it's going to cost those institutions an ungodly amount of money. And for the ones who aren't, well, they're going to lose a whole bunch of their employees because no one can pay for it. And they're also screwing over us, the workers. It's just bogus. It really has me angry. So anyway, I'm going to start looking for another job. And at the moment, me and my boyfriend, Brian, are trying to work out something where I can go ahead and just move to Cleveland and start a new life there. If I'm going to rock the boat, I may as well go ahead and just, rock it all the way. So, pardon me, I gotta change hands because this arm's getting tired. If I'm going to rock the boat, I may as well just go ahead and rock it completely over and say, if I'm going to pursue another career, and it's going to be long-term, then, and my boyfriend agrees, I should just go ahead and move up there with him. So, I mean, that's what he and I want, is a life together. And I'm not the kind of person who wants to go work a job where I'm only making like $10 an hour, no health insurance, working weird, bogus fucking hours, no time with my daughter, no time off ever at all whatsoever. You know, no benefits. Basically, it's basically like you do like an ass ton of work for like this much pay. So I'm not the kind of person who will work at a job like that for a few months and just go, oh, well, I'll work here until something better comes along. I job hopped for quite a while in my 20s. I got sick of it. I hated it. It wore me out. It did nothing but cause me problems in multiple areas of my life, not just like employment and housing and bill-wise. It just really, it was such a clusterfuck all the time. I was tired all the time. I was angry all the time. I was fat. I mean, I was like fat. I mean, you've seen me. I mean, I'm pudgy. But, I mean, I was fat, so, yeah. I had no health insurance. I mean, as soon as I got my job with the school system, and I had health insurance, like, I started going to the doctor regularly. I found out all sorts of health problems that I have that I didn't know I had. Diabetic, bacterial problems, like with my intestines and problems with my skin. Let's see. Asthma. And I was able to go to an allergist and find out exactly what it is I'm allergic to. So, I mean, I just I can't go without health insurance because I definitely need my medication. Because I also happen to have bipolar disorder, which that was also discovered once I got the health insurance. So, yeah, going without health insurance is very, very fucking scary, because if you get sick, you can't go to the doctor. You have to just suffer and wait for it to go away. And if you miss work, and you know, they're not obligated to let you return when you come back. They can call you up and say, well, you know, you've been out sick for 3 days, and so we decide to just go ahead and hire somebody else. They can fuck you over that way. There's no law stopping employers from doing that to their employees. So, and what makes me kind of sick is, you know, I mean, it used to be this way. It's not anymore. But most employers used to not be obligated in any way whatsoever to offer you health insurance. And it didn't even have to be based on your hours or anything. They just weren't obligated to do it. And so, but the rule was, you know, if they didn't offer health insurance, like for instance, I'll give you an example. When I worked at the pet store, in fact, most places I worked, not just the pet store, they didn't give you any health insurance. They didn't even offer it. The only people who had health insurance were managers. Everybody else, no. You had no health insurance. They paid you minimum wage and expected you to have a doctor's note when you returned to work after being sick. And which I think is ass backwards, because if they expect you to provide a doctor's note and aren't going to offer health insurance, they need to pay your ass enough to go to the fucking doctor or offer health insurance. Yeah, the fight's fixed pretty much. I mean, if you're living in the United States and you're the working poor, you're going to be the working poor until you die. The fight's fixed. You can't get ahead. You can't win. Home ownership is getting so far out of reach, it's unreal. Having like a good job is out of reach. I mean, even if you go to college, all it does is put you in debt. Maybe you agree, maybe you don't, but all it does is put you in debt, and there's no guarantee at all whatsoever that you're actually going to get a job in the field for which you're trained. So that's, yeah. Oh, the whole if you work hard and go to college and keep working hard, you'll have you'll have a house, you'll have, you know, a decent car, you'll be able to have a family, you'll be able to take your family on vacation every year, you can put your kids through college. Bullshit. That is the biggest lie ever fucking told. I mean, I mean, college basically is a for-profit industry these days. And it's a bureaucracy, and it's bullshit. I mean, yeah, I mean, people who want to go to college or go to trade school or whatever, good for them. Good luck. Anyway. So, yeah. I'm just really stressed out because the only way that I'd be able to make it up to Ohio and you know, and be able to get up there before August would be as if his parents are fine with me living under their roof for just a little while. And so he's in the process of kind of trying to broach the subject with them and talk about it and try to get something set up. And so, and I hate being on pins and needles because, like, if I'm going to move up there this summer, I have so much crap that I have to do before I do that. Like, I have to make sure I know what the formal, like the formal resignation process is with my current job. And then I have to like box up my room, my room full of all this like stuff. I mean, you can see, I mean, how much stuff I have. I mean, I don't have to box up all of it. Some of it can sit here until he and I get our own place, and then I can come down here with a moving truck and get it. But I have to, I have to get myself ready to move my like important things that I need up there. I would have to make sure I get my ducks in a row with regards to my bank and my car payments, because I have a car loan. And I would have to deal with the child support office, because I pay support to my ex because my daughter lives with him. I'd have to get that set up to where my new employer would be, like, my payments would be deducted. Same thing with the car payments. I mean, I have so much crap I have to do. And then I have to, like, actually, then the whole thing of, like, the last day of school coming in, I think it's 3 weeks. Yeah, a little over 3 weeks, I think. So, and of course I'd have to get a moving truck. And it would have to be the kind that where I can pull my car behind it. So yeah, there was so much that would have to be done. And change of address crap. I mean, there are so many places these days where you have to put your address. I mean, I guess you don't have to really, but like on social media, they want an address. Driver's license changes over. You know, your mail, whether it's bills or junk mail, junk mail, they get your address anyway. So yeah, that's work that's already cut out for it. That's already, that someone else already did it. I don't have to worry about that. So anyway, yeah. And to be honest, if I moved out of state and didn't get any junk mail, honestly, I'd feel a little lonely. I'd feel a little disappointed, because there's a part of me that looks forward to taking junk mail and just ripping it to shreds and throwing it in the garbage. So, yeah, so a part of me would be a little disappointed if I wasn't getting any junk mail. So, yeah. My room's a pigsty right now. I guess I may as well just go ahead and show you guys, I mean, since I'm doing all this, so. But yeah, there's crap all over the bed, stuff all over the floor, shoes. I mean, the floor itself is actually, like, even kind of, like, dirty. I mean, it needs to be vacuumed. It's like lint and sequins and, oops, the computer decided to, there we go. And there's actually, like, these little silver sparkly things, like, all over the floor down there. They came off of a thing that I was cutting up, and here's, like, just stuff I'm working on. So, yeah, here's that scarf I showed you in my thrift store haul video. I decided I'm going to make hair scrunchies out of it. So, yeah. It's a mess in here. Oh. And there's, like, this big balls of fabric, like, on the other side of my bed. You can see, I don't know if you can see that or not, but, like, it's just a pile of material. I don't know what else to do with it. So, yeah. So, yeah, so either my boyfriend has to talk his parents into letting me come stay there for a few weeks until he and I move out and get our place, or we have to figure out a way to come up with a big chunk of money, like, off the bat, so that we don't need someone else's permission for me to come live under their roof. If we can get rid of that need, then, that'd be great, because then we wouldn't have to worry. I wouldn't be on pins and needles, but I don't have a way to come up with a big chunk of money. I mean, if I don't have $3,000 laying around for a sleep apnea test, I mean, I can think of much better things to spend $3,000 on if I did have it. For instance, moving in with my boyfriend. And that's another big deciding factor in this. Like, someone at work actually was like, you know what I would do if I actually had $3,000? She said, I would help my son move out. It occurred to me, like, yeah, you know what? I can think of better things to do with $3,000 too. Fuck having to pay for your own fucking requirements to keep your CDL for your employment. That's ridiculous. If you can't pay, then your options are that they suspend your commercial driver's license until you take the test, which will probably lead to people being suspended without pay at work, which will lead to terminations, ultimately. And also there is the possibility that I could just transfer to another department, but I don't know where I'd be assigned, like what I'd be doing, what school I'd be at, or where I'd be assigned or whatever, if when I have to drive like 45 minutes across town. That is a possibility where I live. I mean, I just can't do that. And so that is a possibility that I have to do that. And then there's also the fact that no matter what my job title is or what I'm doing, there's still the bullshit of people in offices and in human resources fucking up. They give you, they don't disclose, they forget to tell you things, or they lose doctor's notes, they lose paperwork, they misplace stuff, and it's just a disgrace, and it's inexcusable. People ask me all the time, what stresses you out most about your job, Michelle? Is it, it's gotta be the kids, right? And I'm like, no, it's not the kids. I'll tell you what stresses me out about my job the most. It's the adults. It's adults who should know better than to fuck up, to be irresponsible, because you expect adults to know what they're doing. You expect them to be cordial and polite and courteous. You expect them to wait their turn. You expect them to keep track of what the things that they're given. You expect them to be responsible and do their jobs right. But no, some people just don't want to do that. They don't want to follow the rules. Oh, and also, like, when it was my job, the people in the office, like, they're supposed to be enforcing rules. There are certain rules that a lot of people, a lot of the bus drivers just get by with breaking. And it pertains to stuff having to do with stuff that goes on at the schools or at the bus compound. I mean, there are some people, people, just, as the rules apply to most, but not all. There are people who get away with doing the stupidest shit and like the most inconsiderate crap. I mean, it just angers me to no end. I mean, obviously you're going to have that at any job, but I mean, come on. Where's the line drawn? Like, where does it stop? I mean, there's always going to be douchebags at a job, but this job has its share of douchebags and then some, and then also, like I said, the people who are supposed to really be doing their jobs well because the other people depend on them to do it, they just don't. So, I mean, there are definitely lots of people who are very well-meaning but are unable to complete their tasks because their tasks depend on someone else, the person next to them completing theirs, and then passing the tasks along down the chain down the chain. And if they're not receiving what is supposed to be work to do, it's their turn to work on something, then they can't do it. So yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty much am fed up. I mean, it's not the kids. It's not the kids, it's not the parents. It's the adults that work for the institution who should know what they're doing and who you should be able to depend upon and who should know better than to be complete jackasses. So, there you go. And it's a shame. I mean, I'm kind of like my heart's been sinking a bit because I worked really hard to get this job. And I was so proud of myself when I got my commercial driver's license and was hired on and everything, and I was so motivated and so excited and just, I mean, lately it's just been, I've been so deflated and so angry and so upset. I'm like, I've given these people 5 years of my life. How can they do this to me? So anyway, but yeah, since I'm going to rock the boat, I mean, I'm kind of trying to focus on like what other like wonderful good things could be out there for me, or what, this closing of this chapter of my life might bring about. The next chapter of my life might be like the beginning of like the happy ending, that I've been longing for, I guess, where I have a job where I don't have to borrow money from people constantly to take care of things. If I have some kind of problem where I have to go to the doctor and have to make co-pays or buy a bunch of medicine, I don't have to borrow money from someone to do it. Even if it's just $50, it's like, my God, it adds up, So, I have a job where, I'm definitely making, like, better take-home pay, and it's a job that's not going to put me in an early grave, because school bus drivers do spend a great deal of time being exposed to, like, the damp, the cold, the heat, the snow, diesel exhaust, outdoor things like outdoor allergens like pollen and dust and mold and stuff, and there's a lot that we have to deal with that can be very bad for your health. I mean, I've got respiratory problems. I don't need to be around those things because it's gonna kill me eventually. I'll be a very sick old woman, so. Yeah, but a job where, like, like me and my boyfriend can afford to buy a house, because that's something I've really longed for, is home ownership. And it's just, I just couldn't, could never catch the right break to be able to get that here. So, who knows, maybe, leaving this job and moving up to Cleveland and having, one door closed, another door open, maybe good things will come about. So I'm just trying to be positive, but it's so hard, but anyway, this has been a very long vlog, so I'm going to shut up now and put away my laundry off the bed so that I have clothes to wear tomorrow. Yeah, I can't go to work naked. Oh, maybe if I went to work naked, maybe they would fire me and I could collect unemployment. No, but then again, people have like phone cameras and stuff in their phones. They'd be like photographing me and filming me and stuff. Yeah. Honestly, if I think I went to work naked, everybody at work probably like run away as fast as they could. So yeah, they'd cancel school. Alright, I'm gonna shut up now. Bye.